On July 22nd, just 2 weeks after his farewell performance, the Prince of Darkness passed away at the age of 76. John Michael, aka Ozzy Osbourne, lived a hard life, and considering his countless escapades over the years, it's nothing short of a miracle that he made it to 76. Fans were given a worthy goodbye through his farewell show. The mission was accomplished. A life completed. Due to his declining health, Ozzy had drawn a line under his career as a performing artist, though he undoubtedly hoped to spend many more years with his beloved family. Now that Ozzy is gone, the Osbourne household will surely feel quiet. Of course, Ozzy is famous for all his wild antics throughout his life. But let's take a moment to look at his legacy through the lens of Black Sabbath's first 4 albums. Because after all, we're only in it for the music. So buckle the fuck up, fucking brace yourself. We're in for a fucking wild ride on the crazy train. Though technically, that was a solo hit. Hello, and welcome to a new episode of We're Only in It for the Music, a brand new YouTube series that takes you on a musical journey through videos about pop, rock, jazz, blues, soul, and funk. In other words, from ABBA to Zappa and everything in between. If you're enjoying this series, don't forget to click like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll always be the first to know when a new episode drops. But enough of that. Never mind the bollocks, we're only in it for the music. Black Sabbath is known as one of the founding fathers of the heavy metal genre, and the influence of this band, and its charismatic, now late frontman, cannot be overstated. That's why I'm going to explore Ozzy's legacy through the lens of Sabbath's first 4 albums. Are you ready? So hide your bats, hide your pigeons. Tonight, we ride. Let's start at the beginning and take a closer look at Black Sabbath's self-titled debut album from 1970. The cover alone is iconic. Many Sabbath fans have made a pilgrimage to the Maple Durham watermill, situated on the River Thames in Oxfordshire, just to step into the scene depicted on the sleeve. The album opens ominously with the sound of rain, thunder, and church bells, immediately setting the tone for the Black Sabbath. A crushing, lumbering guitar riff makes it clear that this is no fucking West Coast fucking pop band from fucking LA. No, this is something entirely different. What is this that stands before me? Figure in black, which points at me. Ozzy sings in his now famous anguished voice. Black Sabbath drags you straight into the darkness and introduces the listener to a menacing world full of doom and gloom. People rightly claim that Sabbath were one of the pioneers of what would later be called heavy metal. But this opening track is actually far too slow by metal standards. The debut album leans more toward blues rock than hard rock or heavy metal. The harmonica in The Wizard once again betrays deep blues roots shared by many British bands in the 60s and 70s. But once Tony Iommi's guitar riff kicks in, it quickly becomes clear. This is fucking blues on fucking steroids. Behind the Wall of Sleep opens with an irresistible groove before switching tempo to even more ferocious hard rock, reminiscent of early Led Zeppelin or Deep Purple. Sabbath's debut is a rock-solid album, and NIB is a pure rocker with a peculiar title. NIB doesn't stand for anything in particular. It's a tongue-in-cheek nod to Nativity in Black, which was drummer Bill Ward's nickname. Evil Woman is a cover of an R&B song by Minneapolis-St. Paul-based band Crow, but Ozzy transforms it into a deliciously catchy hard rock track. With Sleeping Village, Sabbath lets off the gas. The song opens as a delicate acoustic ballad that leans more toward traditional folk than metal, only for Iommi to smack you again with a searing hard rock riff. The twin guitar lines are clever and effective, the kind of thing that surely made Jimmy Page raise an eyebrow on first listen. It's a testament to craftsmanship and ingenuity. The 10-minute epic warning shows that Sabbath weren't afraid to experiment, even on their debut. Right from the start of their long career, ambition was clearly part of the DNA. The song flows through various tempo changes and alternates heavy rock sections with pastoral acoustic passages. showing that Sabbath would also leave their mark on the prog rock scene that was thriving in 1970. Wicked World closes the album with a fantastic boogie. Who says hard rock can't fucking swing? Leave that to bassist Geezer Butler and drummer Bill Ward. They make it fucking work. It's ironic that many people remember Ozzy as the swearing, shuffling dad wandering through his Beverly Hills mansion, permanently accompanied by his little dog Minnie, and often looking baffled at whatever chaos surrounded him. Fortunately, Ozzy had Sharon, his rock and savior, to keep him grounded.
Bubbles! Oh, come on, Sharon. I'm not Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness. Evil, but
But when you listen to Sabbath's early work, you hear a driven and talented Ozzy at full force. The wild escapades would only take over later. Paranoid, Black Sabbath's second album, is somehow even stronger than their first one. While the debut was already an excellent record, Paranoid is the knockout punch. War Pigs, Iron Man, the title track. Each song has become a timeless classic. Planet Caravan is wonderfully psychedelic and bluesy, and it's precisely the more mellow tracks that give the heavier songs even more edge. They add a sense of dynamic balance to the album as a whole. More guitar-driven firepower is delivered through Electric Funeral, Hand of Doom, Rat Salad. What the fuck is in the fucking name? And the closer, Fairies Wear Boots. If you weren't yet convinced of Sabbath's musical authority, Paranoid is the ultimate proof. What an album. What a band. Fuck yeah. Fuck. Master of Reality opens with the sound of someone coughing, a sample that's drenched in delay and echo effect from the studio, almost like an early hip-hop loop avant la lettre. The track that follows, Sweet Leaf, is pure Black Sabbath. After Forever even inspired the name of a band, a clear sign of the song's impact, and of Sabbath's influence in general on the musical world. The instrumental embryo is the first real weak spot we encounter in this listening session. This short guitar motif, clocking in at less than 30 seconds, isn't particularly memorable. It feels more like a prelude to the next track, Children of the Grave, but less effectively executed than, say, Horizons, which serves as the unofficial intro to Genesis's magnum opus Supper's Ready. Thankfully, Children of the Grave makes up for it with an absolutely irresistible groove. The second instrumental piece on Master of Reality, Orchid, actually sounds even more like Steve Hackett's Horizons, though Genesis's Foxtrot wouldn't be released until a year later. Still, the atmosphere is strikingly similar. Lord of this World is Sabbath through and through, heavy guitar riffs, pounding bass, and thunderous drums. After that, the band eases off the gas again, giving Master of Reality a more dynamic flow than the previous two Sabbath albums, even if not every track is equally strong. Solitude is an absolute gem and deserves to be discovered by listeners who only know Ozzy from the big hits. The album closes in style with a fat, satisfying guitar riff, ultimately giving metalheads exactly what they crave most: loud fucking guitars. Album number 4, fittingly titled Volume 4, opens with a bluesy guitar lick that effortlessly transitions into a hard rock riff. Wheels of Confusion is yet another powerful opening track. Tomorrow's Dream features an infectious, driving rhythm and quickly picks up the pace early in the track list. And then, it's time for a shift. Suddenly, we hear a piano, and Ozzy bearing his heart in a near gospel-like setting. I'm going through changes, Osbourne sings with surprisingly raw vulnerability. Changes wouldn't have felt out of place on the band's album Music from Big Pink. A strange outlier, perhaps, but a heartbreakingly beautiful one. Just like on Master of Reality, we're treated to another short instrumental interlude, this time an even more experimental piece of guitar spielerei. FX came about by accident in the studio. After smoking hashish, the crucifix hanging from Iommi's neck hit the strings of his guitar, producing an odd sound. The band took interest, added some echo, and began hitting the guitar with various objects to create bizarre effects. Iommi later called the track a total joke. Supernaut boasts a riff that could easily rival Paranoid or Iron Man, but for some unknown reason, the song never gained the same legendary status as those two. Snowblind is a solid mid-tempo rocker, providing enough rhythmic contrast to keep Volume 4 from feeling too one-dimensional. The same goes for Cornucopia. which may actually be even catchier than Snowblind. We get another instrumental acoustic break, but unlike FX, Laguna Sunrise doesn't feel like filler. It might just be the most beautiful piece of music Black Sabbath ever recorded. Lush and delicate aren't usually words associated with Ozzy and his band, but Laguna Sunrise is a clear highlight, thanks to the composer, Tony Iommi. That calm is suddenly shattered by St. Vitus Dance, a rocking track with a touch of psychedelia, and finally, the nearly 6-minute Under the Sun. The closing song of Volume 4 starts off slow and heavy, but, as with many Sabbath tracks, the tempo and mood shift multiple times throughout. They're almost like mini-operas on speed. All of these contrasting elements make Black Sabbath's songs endlessly fascinating to revisit. Given the band's legacy among hard rock and heavy metal fans, there's no doubt their music will continue to be played, again and again. After listening to Black Sabbath's first 4 albums, one thing becomes clear. Ozzy's legacy is so much more than just that of a middle-aged prince of darkness stumbling through a villa in an MTV reality show. His musical legacy is one we'll cherish for a long time to come, because the man created truly incredible music and played a key role in inventing an entirely new genre. Ozzy Osbourne, rock singer, heavy metal pioneer, fucking Prince of Darkness, but also a husband and father. I can't help but wonder if he's now organizing his own Ozfest up there. With all the legends roaming around, that lineup must be absolutely fucking insane. Thank you, Ozzy. Rock in peace. And that was Ozzy Osbourne's legacy, told through the first 4 Black Sabbath albums. What do you think of Ozzy? What do you think of Black Sabbath? What's your favorite Sabbath song and album? Let me know in the comments below this video. You can listen to all the music featured on this channel via the Spotify playlist, and don't forget to check out the social media pages on Facebook and Instagram for all the ins and outs, because I will follow you if you follow me. All the links are down below in the description. And hey, click like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never have to miss an episode. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry for all the fucking swearing and cursing. See you next time. And in the meantime, drop the needle, press play, and remember, we're only in it for the music.